Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy VFX video, and this is going to be perfect, or as close as a perfect clear as you can possibly get for what I have. Obviously, I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not going to be hitting 6 billion, and with this, apparently you need a different team entirely. But what I'm going to be using for a clear that is good enough for me, perfect clear. So first of all, Sephiroth, he has to have 80% fire resistance or more. And we have Lion Emblem here. We also have 10,000 needles and Bahamut Synergy. Those are all almost required. His vision card was nice but not mandatory, but yeah. So we have Black Sparky for the gun and peril on Louise. We have 300% human killer, 300% low damage, of course. If you don't have a lot of this gear, then the video is not for you. I made a video that was budget centered, so this is not a budget video, by the way. So I don't want to see any complaining in the comment section. We have mood makers galore, Bahamut Synergy, fire resistance, her own vision card. Sorry about the my nose is acting up. So we have just a lot of magic. I think 300% human killer should be. 3% human killer, 3% low burst damage, but she's not going to be the main finisher here, of course. She's just a helping hand. Has some fire resistance here and stuff like that. Bahamut Synergy, her own vision card. Brave Shift form, 20% fire resistance at least. And just human killer, chain cap increase, stuff like that. It's all good in my opinion. Zahn has good enough stuff and resistances and provoke and all that stuff. He's all good with that situation. Tifa is dual wielding with equipped sword and an Aurora Scarf or the sword that gives double attack. Man, it's necessary. And we have her dual wielding. I do not have the crown to make her TDH. So unfortunately, in my clear, I'm not gonna have TDH Tifa. I know it's superior, but I don't have the crown here. As you can see, I don't have this. I don't have the orange or whatever you want to call it crown. So not gonna be quite. And I also don't have her vision card. So also once again, obviously since she's an EX2 out of 3, it is what it is on that guy. She doesn't need fire resistance in her Brave Shift form, just her base form. And finally, Aerith with some fire resistance, and also Zidane's STMR. And we just have some decent equipment in her Brave Shift form, but she's not mandatory to have any of that. Really have any of that stuff, but it just helps. And these are the espers here, Bahamut, and for Louise, she went Bar Fireга for Carbuncle, and we have this here, and Phoenix for Zahn, and Diabolos for Tifa, and Fenrir for Aerith, which will be really important to have. So anyways, let's get into it. So it's gonna be really fun on turn 7 when there's an RNG turn involved with this. So if that happens, I'd start all over basically. So Tifa, Sephiroth, and Laura will be shifting to Brave Shift form and using their LBs, but not chaining them, of course, or at least, you know, using them all at the same time, because you really don't want to go to the 80% threshold. Kind of ruins everything for you're gonna ruin your day. So just use them one at a time. And with that out of the way, now you will go ahead and summon Fenrir on Aerith. Don's gonna go ahead and dual cast, double up, and he's gonna use Obscura Solitude for some LV crystal fill rate. And Luis is going to use, this is important, Quad Core ×3 Iconic Fire Blast, and an ability that's almost never useful for literally anything other than this situation. Fire Foam. You need Fire Foam, guys. I've never used it ever until this moment, so there's that. Fire Foam is activated. It's necessary, guys. It's necessary. Next turn is going to be really important, and I might mess this up a few times. We'll see. So, Luis is going to use Bar Fireга. Laura is going to shift back and use Hot Shot times 3. Aerith is going to shift to Aerith, or not Aerith. Oh, she is going to shift. But Tifa, Laura is going to use triple hot shot. Sephiroth is going to shift back. Tifa is going to shift back. Luis is going to use by Fire. Donna's going to use the Luna Burst. So the order: Aerith, Zahn, then the two Final Fantasy VII units, and then Laura around that moment. Good, good, good. We got over 100 chain. That's all we needed to worry about, guys. Alright, turn 3. Tifa will use Eccentric from Riku's pouch. Hopefully I showed that in the previous part because it's necessary. And Zahn's going to use his Luna Burst. Luisa is going to shift and use her LB. Remember to never defend against... You're not going to be defending at all in this guide, but just don't do it because you're going to lose the stacks. So use her LB. Laura is going to shift and use Queen of the Jungle. Aerith is going to use Quadruple and use Wish to Save the Planet, and also triple cast Flame Fang. Not chaining, of course, just use this. We're not chaining any of this stuff. And she'll do that. Just to fill the LB gauge up a little bit. Although it just seems like he dropped everything anyways. And then we're going to use Rallying Cry, which is the Lion album on Sephiroth. Be good. The next part, don't be worried about. We're gonna shift. Don't be worried about this, by the way. We're gonna shift with Aerith, and we're going to use I Wanted to Go With You. And yes, it will reduce your MP by a lot, but she will not be using your MP for the remainder of this stage. We're gonna go ahead and use Reflector. We're going to use Reflector, and we're going to use Critical Mirror on Laura and on Aerith, and we're going to use Elemental Mirror on himself. So there's that. Then we will go ahead and use Rage Beast 4 on Laura. You want to use Zahn first because if you use it after, then you won't have anything to copy from Laura. So go ahead and do that do that now. Laura is going to shift back and use times 3 hot shot. Go ahead and use that now. Luis is going to shift and use Bar Fire. Very useful. And Sephiroth is going to use 10,000 needles. Everything's good so far. And it should be good. The only turn we have to worry about is turn 7. There could be some RNG involved with that. Unfortunately, there's a situation involved with that, so... Zahn's gonna use his LB to start with, so then use it and then his LB is empty. Laura's gonna shift and use her LB to get another stack. So we can do that. Sephiroth and Tifa are gonna use their base from LBs. Just use them one at a time. And then Luis is going to use times 4 Iconic Fire Blast for some LB fill. Next, Tifa will go ahead and use Eccentric again. And Zahn is going to use his LB. Luis is going to use... I'm not really sure why I wrote shift there, but she's not going to be... Oh, right, because we're in the base form, sorry about that. Yes, she will shift in her Brave Shift form and use her LB again. For another stack. Obviously her modifier is not the best, but that's something. Laura is going to shift back and use ×3 Hot Shot. Wait a little bit. And Sephiroth is going to use Rallying Cry. Next turn is the RNG turn. So if we take damage, I have to start over. You won't know until the end of turn 7 is when we take damage. And the reason for that is because Zon's going to be busy this turn. So we only have one stack of Mirage, unfortunately. So Tifa will be going ahead and using Rage Beast for first on Laura. We do it first. Laura's going to shift and use Voltal Ammunition. And Luis is going to use 2 times Iconic Fire Blaster, Disarming Iconic Blaster, and also a Fire Starter. And Zahn is going to use Double Up, Projected Mirror, and also we're also going to use Obscure Solitude. Sephiroth is going to do 10,000 needles. This is where the RNG comes in. If we get hit, then that's it. Hopefully not. I mean, my test run I did not get hit, but it's a possibility. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, that was it. So if you get hit on that end of turn 7, you have to start over. But I think we're good here. Actually, that's a relief. That is a relief. So Zahn will use his LB. Luis is going to shift back and use 2 times Iconic Fire Blaster, Heavy Firepower, Modifier Gear, Heavy Firepower, and Incapacitate Target. The reason why we bring her along for the gun and barrel, so that's important to do that. Laura's going to shift back and she's going to use 3 times Hot Shot, and Tifa and Sephiroth are going to use their Grand's abilities. So go ahead and use those. And then Hot Shot. Very important to have that. A lot of Abby Fill application here. Alright, and now we're finally going to be doing the finish here. Zahn is going to use, not now, but Zahn will be doing Thief of the Night and Emerald Mirror on himself. But remember, don't use it yet. People will shift. I'm trying not to misclick on anything because it's all sensitive. I am later. Everybody's basically shifting and using their LB. I wish there was a, you know, there is a skip, shift animation skip on the JP version, but on the global version for some reason. So it's unfortunate. Alright, so the order is Luis, Sephiroth, Aerith, Tifa, and Laura at the end. Zahn's in there somewhere. Yeah, he's all 3 of this row is gonna be chaining, and yeah, it's gonna be tough. All right, this might take a few tries, so if it looks kind of weird where it just cuts immediately, it might be on my 3rd or 4th try and chain. Go with how it is. Have to go with it how it is, guys. So I think that might have been a lot better. I hope. Variants could be played in the part of this, of course, so hopefully I can get a decent number here. That's good enough for me. That's actually probably the highest I think I've gotten, or maybe a little bit lower. Might have been. I might have done 3.8, but I'm not sure. So, of course, John's not going to do very much. Tifa, unfortunately, is not TDH build, so not really be doing much. Aerith won't be doing much. And Luis, of course, even though she's LB finisher right now, she's not going to be expected to do very much. Laura and Aerith, or Laura and Sephiroth are doing pretty decent. I actually did better. Nice. Nice. So hopefully I kept that in that turn. I'm just going to lead off one more time. They're all shifting to use their LB. Basically, they're all shifting to use their LBs in their Brave Shift form, and Zan is using the Thief of the Night and Elemental Mirror on himself, so he only single casts it. But that's it. That's it, guys. So if you're able to have better gear than me, then have at it. I'm not a whale anymore, so I don't have the best equipment of all time. I don't have the chain cap count, so I can't make Tifa TDH, unfortunately. That one's out of my control. I did Moogle Zidane's STMR for this because I have the X0, so there's no way I'm getting it anytime soon. But thank you guys for watching, appreciate you, love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.